angel in disguise. Ha 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 went the laughter of all the kids around me as I walked into Clear Creek Community Church. This place better be good, because Faith and Danielle promised me I'd like it. I hated that I was new here. People's eyes naturally followed me, and I hated it. I was just trying this place out for fun, because after my mom had a stroke, how serious could church really be? I sighed as Faith motioned for me to hurry up, and Danielle was beside her, talking a mile a minute. I slumped down towards my chair, throwing Faith a look and saying to myself, "Here goes nothing." I sat on the chairs and looked up at the stage. There were speakers and everything, apparently for the live band that was playing during worship. There were 2 large screens that boldly showed Impact Student Ministry on it. The room was pretty big, with a huge sound table in the back and a set of drums on the stage. The chairs were divided into freshman, sophomore, junior, and then senior sections, and the chairs were placed on comfortable mats. I was still in disbelief on how awesome the place looked when Faith leaned in towards me and said, "Anna, that guy up there, his name is Lee. He is our senior high pastor." And I looked up quizzically. He was tall with brown hair and wore a cap. He wasn't dressed fancy, which was surprising because of the most churches that I have been to. He looked really young, to me to be about in his 30s, and I was amazed at how such a young man was a pastor already. He started our service by telling us how us non-believers should begin to believe in our faith, and that we will then find eternal happiness in life. I looked up at the stage, hoping that Lee could lead me to that. As the year progressed, I attended church every weekend and made a lot of friends along the way. I began reading the scripture and writing down prayer requests in my journal. I asked to become closer to my faith and help abandon my feelings of hostility. I knew I would have to work harder to achieve these goals, so I asked my friends for support and prayers. As I continued my walk of faith, I began to feel more comfortable around my surroundings and began to listen to Lee's message with a better attitude as I did before. I started reading the scripture not because I felt obligated to, but because I wanted to. I knew that I had reached my goals. When I watched Lee touch the lives of 2 teen boys the day they got baptized, something inside me just broke. Tears fell from my eyes because of pure happiness, and all hope had finally been restored for me, all because I was an onlooker of someone else's happiness. Lee was a magician that day, restoring my life and so many others by just doing what he loves to do. Lee is like a ray of sunshine shining on me and shining on others, telling us that it is time for us to make the change. I finally realized that during my time at church, and I finally gave myself up to my faith in November 2009 when Lee baptized me in front of my church. To me, Lee is an angel in disguise, lifting people up and guiding them along the way to the place they need to be. Ever since I came to Clear Creek Community Church, I have been grateful towards Lee. Lee helped fill the darkest holes in my life, like my depression and my hatred, and helped me cope with the pain of my mom's hospitalization. He listens to my stories with care and consideration, and doesn't judge me, which is something I wasn't used to. He was honored to baptize me in front of my peers, and he taught me so much about my religion that I never took the time to learn before. I now stand as a proud believer in my faith, and I am aware that I was brought to Lee for a reason. Without Lee, I would still feel broken and lost in this world. Without him, I would not know the joys that church brings or the happiness that I now feel. Because of him, I now walk into Clear Creek Community Church with